Ever had a game haunt your dreams? For me, it was Judge Dredd vs. Death. Let me take you back to my childhood and the terrifying moments that made this game unforgettable.
It is the third decade of the 22nd century. Unemployment is endemic, boredom is universal, and only the judges can prevent total anarchy. Empowered to dispense instant justice, they are judge, jury, and executioner all in one. The most feared and respected of all the judges is Dredd.
I want to share a personal story about a game that genuinely scared me as a kid. Judge Dredd vs. Death. If you've ever had a game that kept you up all night, you will definitely relate to this one. Judge Dredd vs. Death was released in 2003 and it was based on the iconic 2000 AD comic series. The game had everything: action, dark atmosphere, and, of course, the terrifying dark judges. But what really got to me was the eerie ambience and the destroy my anxiety pursuit by the zombies. So I remember the first time I played it. I was 13 years old, and the game's dark dystopian setting was unlike anything I had ever experienced before. The graphics, though dated by today's standards, right, they were incredibly immersive for me at the time. The sound design, with its creepy background noises and sudden jump scares throughout the game, made my heart race. Not to mention, looking at vampires run towards me didn't help things either. And I'm pretty sure that happened quite early on in the game. So there was this one level where you're navigating through a dimly lit mega mall. The undead have risen, of course, and the ambience and tone of this level made it very difficult for me to even look at the screen. The shadows seemed to move in that game, literally, and every corner felt like a potential eat my flesh moment. And then out of nowhere, in typical fashion, as I'm progressing through the stage, more zombies would appear. Oh, goodness me, the game, the crime is life and the sentence is death. It was enough to make me pause the game and take a breather for a respiratory system. Even after completing the game a few times, it still did the same thing. But it's got great replayability, so I'm going to complete it a few more times. So do you know what sparked my anxiety or disdain for the undead in this game? Got no one else to blame but myself here. It was from a movie called Zombie Flesh Eaters. I watched this movie before I was even a teenager, which didn't help things one bit, and it's one of the scariest horror films I have ever seen in my life that actually left a huge impression on younger me. So being a 13-year-old kid playing a game at night that features them with so many numbers that keep popping up on the screen and very little backup from the AI from other judges made things a lot worse. Looking back though, it's fascinating how a game could evoke such strong emotions. See, it wasn't just about the fear, it was about the thrill of overcoming it as well. Judge Dredd vs. Death taught me to face my fears head on, even if it was just in a virtual world, but still, face them I did. Hence the reason why I completed the game quite a few times, to try and actually conquer it. So why did Judge Dredd vs. Death scare me as a kid? Well, as I've mentioned, the movie Zombie Flesh Eaters was one factor, but also it was the perfect storm of atmosphere, sound design, and the menacing presence of not only the zombies and the vampires, but also the dark judges too. It's a game that left a lasting impression on me and remains a nostalgic favourite. So thanks for joining me on this trip down memory lane, fellow gaming minions. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. And please, would you mind dinging that notification bell with the law, so you never miss out on my content. And please tell me in the comments, what game scared you the most as a kid? Let's have a nice little chin wag or chat of stories to share. Until next time, keep gaming and stay retro, and may retro gaming live on.